So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start with any particular color. So I'm going to start with white. I love it. It's called Pure of Heart or Pure. And I love using white. White gives your eyes a pop and a lift. And finding a good winter white is really hard. Or finding a white in your palette in general is really, really difficult. We actually have a white for every single palette. Sometimes they don't look white, but it represents your white. In other words, your white might be peach if you're in autumn, but it's still a white, for what the purposes of what white will do. Starter, complementer, wardrobe builder, what have you. So as you can see, I started with white, and I can already tell that my eyes look a little bit brighter. Okay, so there's my white, and just put that all over. And this particular white is a matte, but I could have used icy, which has shiny in it. It has a shine to it. But I typically still use the white and then put a little pop of icy over it. So it depends on what you like. Now, a lot of people are afraid of color, and we're all about color, so I absolutely adore color. So the next thing I'm going to do, just for giggles, is I'm going to add some yellow, because it's another color that a lot of people don't like, and I absolutely adore yellow. So I'm going to take some direct, and I'm going to stick it right over my eyeball, and that is called a pop. And that's actually really soft. So when I'm looking at the video now, I don't really see it showing up, which is nice, because then I'm not like, oh, she's wearing yellow. It really just emphasizes my eyes. I don't know if you can see better now or not. And we're doing another little pop. So this is called a pop. Now, I could have just done the pop like this, like that, or actually making a line down the middle. If you ladies can tell, I'm not really being intense about making sure everything is blended, making sure everything's perfect. I just don't do it that way. I believe that makeup should be fun, and I think the biggest mistake that people make is they try too hard. Make it fun. It's just an expression. So here we go. Let's do some more color. So this is my little pop with yellow, and then let's try pink. Why not? By the way, I'm using a number 8 brush, and this one's called Oops Quick Tempered. And you guys know, if you're a bright winter, you could be a little quick sometimes. Doesn't mean you always act on it. You might be an internally quick-tempered person where you're not going to let it show, but if something makes you mad, you're going to be mad. You're not necessarily one to completely hide it. It'll probably show up on your face. But anyway, all of our colors have names, have personality names to it. So now I just did a double pop. So I had the yellow, and then I did a little Oops Quick Tempered right on over it. And I absolutely really love that. Oh, it's weird to look in the mirror. I gotta look in the mirror. I can't look in the computer. Sorry about that. So here's my little pop there. All right. So now I'm gonna introduce yet another color. Why not? Let's just color me up. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna look for the right brush. I am gonna use our smudger brush. And this guy is called I Spy. He's just a tiny little feller. He's so, so cute. And I am going to take some opinionated, because I can be opinionated, and I am going to add him in my inner eye. So I call this the inner V. Inside V. I don't know what I call it. I make up names. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put that there. And if you feel like you got heavy-handed, no biggie. You're going to go back in with your TKO, and you're just going to blend them, and you can either add some soften to it, or you can add your white to it, or any of your colors, or just, I don't have anything on this brush, and I'm just going to mush it around. So now I have a little bit of inside V on there, and I'm actually going to add a little bit more. Let's see, one looks, I think it's this eye. Okay, there you go. It's opposite. I've never been good with that. My mom had to put tape on my arm to teach me my right and my left, so goes to show you. I'm a little challenged in that area, but there you go, you just blend it. So if you notice, I'm blending it in and then bringing it out. Whenever you blend, you should always go from here to here, are from here to here, outside in. You want to keep your shadows up high. That way your eyes don't droop and you don't look any older. We don't want to look older. So that's my inside V. I could have done Productive, which I love. It's a really, really bright blue. And you know what? I think I might take a little bit of him right here. Why not? So I've got Committed from here to here, and now I'm going to take a little bit of Productive and kind of layer it over it. So I've taken Productive now from here to there. And oh, I really like that. That's looking really groovy. I really like that. That's cool. So now I'm going to kind of take that out a little bit more. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Never be afraid on how things start to transform. Nothing comes alive without eyeliner and without mascara. It just doesn't happen. So right now I've got about 5 colors. I've got 5 colors on, and I wouldn't necessarily use 5 colors, but I'm showing you that you can, and it's completely fine to do so. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do an outside V, and I'm going to actually use the little V brush, which we call So Acute. Here's our little buddy here, and I am going to use, I feel like I should use every color just because I want to show you how fun it is and how you can play with everything. So here's our little test tubes that we keep things in here. And I'm taking a little spatula right now, but you would just work in your jars or your little baggies of samples or however you want to do it. And I am taking a little Committed out. I'm going to go get my little angle brush. And with minerals, you always dip in and you always tap off. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start over here in the corner. Here's my lash line right here. So I'm grabbing this guy. I'm getting him along my lash line. That looks really good. I'm going to bring him over here, all the way over. And then I'm going to add a little more. And I am going to lift the corner of my eye up. So I'm going to get him over there. Put him on. Committed is one of my all-time favorite colors. I absolutely love this guy. He's actually really light. I should have probably transferred them. I should have had the lighter purple closer to my nose and then use that darker purple on the outside of my nose. But you guys are getting the point, is that you can just play, and it's completely fine. So here's this guy, and can you see how I'm doing that? I'm just lifting it up. So I'm taking it here, and I'm holding the tip of it towards my ear, laying it here, and I'm just lifting it up. I actually am going back in with some opinionated because I want this a little bit deeper, especially for video purposes, because you can't really see it otherwise. And I'm just lifting it up. And see, I love purple. Purple's so much fun for me. So I'm just going to load that up. So I'm just doing this, lifting it up. See how I'm just lifting that? Awesome. Okay. So I've got color here. Color here. And then I've got the little eye pops. And I am going to go back in now, and I'm going to use Prize Fighter. He's a little bit smaller than the other guy. And I'm going to go back in with my white. I'm going to do a little bit pop. Yeah, I like that because I felt like it needs a little bit of brightening. So I'm just going to go back in. And the nice thing about that is you just kind of get those lines softened up so you don't have just like so much color in one spot. And I'm going to bring this over just a little. I want to bring that out. I want to soften and brighten my little eye area. There we go. So I'm going to do that. And I don't have any foundation on, don't have any concealer on, don't have my eyebrows done. So that's a great little bone color to use is Tad Bit Selfish. And he is a brown. And the trick to him is because he's really, really rich, and he looks really awesome on a lot of bright winters, especially those that are a little bit to the warmer side of the bright winter. And I particularly like the tad bit selfish along the lash line for those people and in the V. So everybody is different. That's why we have so many options. And not everybody's skin coloring is exactly the same, even if you are a bright winner. So I'm going to dip and I'm going to tap off. I'm going to use the number 18, the little guy with the fur, and I'm going to I just want a little. So I'm going to do this. Now, don't do this when you're putting this bone color on because you're going to mess it up. You want to contour your eye, and so as I am almost 50, that this is starting to hang a little bit, and so I am going to take my brush and I'm going to sculpt this area in right through here. So you can see how I'm doing that. I'm trying to make it, oh, it's so much fun to do it in the, there you go. Can you see how that looks really good? See how this eye now, I feel like this eye's more defined than the other guy, so that helps. I'm going to do this on the other side, right here, so same thing. Oh, it's like, just the whole opposite land when you're videoing is so weird to me. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more right there. Now, I could have also have done this with my Faux Glow, my bronzer, January Love. That's an amazing guy to use. So, there you go. So, I think that's nice, and it just kind of frames everything. It makes my eye pop a little bit. Now, we need eyeliner. I am a girl that needs eyeliner. So I'm going to use the powder. And I'm going to use my angle brush, but I could have easily have used Walk the Line as well. I prefer to use Walk the Line for my gel liners. That's what I usually do. But look at that. It makes such a big difference. I love black. I gotta be honest. I will layer it a lot and do different colors. I will do black and then I'll do a liner over it. On top of it, like a piggyback technique where you do one and then you put the liner right on top of it. But I really feel, especially since I'm older now, which is interesting because most people go a little bit lighter as they go older, but I think as a bright winner, I need, with gray hair, I need the contrast. Otherwise, I feel like I look as tired as I am. And we don't ever want to look as tired as we really are. But you see how I'm kind of dragging it and just kind of, I'm even wiggling it back and forth, but I'm being very mindful to keep this brush straight and, drag it over. So it's very, from here, using the point on the outside corner and dragging it over. So if you can do one direction, that's great. If you can wiggle it back and forth, that's fine too. Don't freak out if you mess up because you just got to go back in and fix it. You can either smudge it with a smudger brush or you can use some TKO. I'm going to actually bring this corner up a little bit and add some depth. I tend to like a little drama. I think it's coming out good. I feel like my eyes are really framing up and I can see them much better now. Now I'm going to take the same angle brush and again I'm dipping it and tapping off and I'm going to take it and I'm going to go underneath now. So I'm going to go right here. And if you ladies notice, I have done my eyes first. Oh, I made a mess out of that. So I did my eyes first, and then I do everything else second. And the bad news about making a mess right now is that I did not bring the proper fixing tools with me. So naughty, naughty eye. So I'm going to cheat. What do? So I don't want to stop what I'm doing. Normally, if I made a mistake, I would take a little eye makeup remover and either put the eye makeup remover on a brush and fix it, or I would take, a Q-tip. But I'm going to go ahead and try to fix this a little bit. Really, it's not too tragic. I just got some in my waterline, which is fine. I put the mineral, with waterline is the inside of the eye. So if you can see, I got a little bit in there. But it's not a big deal. I'm just going to bring it all the way over. Still works. I'm okay with it. See, ladies, I really don't get too hung up about it. So, since I don't have the proper fixing tools with me, here's the Walk the Line. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take some foundation, and I'm going to dip it into my foundation, and I'm going to take Walk the Line, And I am gonna wiggle that bad boy under there and erase some of my violation application. Never panic. It's kind of good that you see that even someone that does makeup for a living and does it all the time makes mistakes, you know? And just don't make a big deal about it. Just go in and fix it. So what if you were after work one day and you're going out to dinner and you're trying to fix your makeup and you're in the restroom and you don't have the proper things. I guess you could use soap and water, so that's probably a bad example. But let's pretend you're in your car, like so many of us do. All right, so here we go. Done. All right, so before I put mascara on, all right, before I do anything else, what I think I'm going to do is I am going to do eyebrows because I think eyebrows are super, super important. And I'm going to use Earth Brown, even though my hair is gray. I'm going to use Earth Brown, but I'm just going to take very, very short strokes. I should show you before, after. I don't have a lot of eyebrows. I honestly do not wax them much. I probably wax them every 4 or 5 months. They just don't grow. But here is Earth Brown. And I just took very short strokes and then I just brushed it. And it helps my shape a little bit. It adds a little color. I personally don't like too strong of an eyebrow. For me, that's my thing. Everybody is different, and for those of you that like more eyebrow, go for it. But your eyebrow should start here. This is the thing a lot of people don't do correctly, is make sure that you get this right. So this is where the eyebrows should start. You take the tip of your nose and go over. Your arch should go right there, and then the end of it should go right there. So you want to follow your points. You can see what I'm doing. 1, 2, and 3, and you're actually just like connecting the dots. So there's not terribly too much difference between my one eyebrow to the other, but there is a difference and it's subtle, and I think that's the important thing. And then I'm going to add just a little bit to this side as well. Again, I don't like it too much. Now this guy, I have a naughty brow. So this guy, he just doesn't have as nice as a shape as the other guy. You're always going to have one. I'm going to add a little bit over here on the top of this guy to shape him up a little bit because I feel like he really needs it. So that looks better. And then I'm going to just add a little bit here. Same thing. So I'm going here and adding. I've got my little arc, and my arc is weak. A little violation, guys. So I'm going to add just a little bit just to kind of get him all together. And then I brush up. So that's about as much brow as I want.